Hi, I'm Michael Sinoff, founder and CEO of HardToFindSeminars.com. For the last 5 years, I've interviewed the world's best business and marketing minds. Now my challenge is to build the world's largest free resource for online, downloadable audio business interviews. I've learned a lot in the last 5 years, and today I'm going to show you the skills you need to survive.
The ultimate way to be buzzworthy is to be absolutely excellent at what you do. And that is the single most important thing I can tell you about your business. Because the long-term great business successes have all started out by focusing on great products, on being excellent. Hands down, period, end of story.
Hi, it's Michael Sinoff with Michael Sinoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. I'm pleased to bring you an exclusive interview for my HardToFindSeminars.com listeners, and it's with Mark Joyner. Mark Joyner's clients pay him thousands of dollars an hour for his time and expertise, and now is your chance to hear answers to questions from my subscribers. Mark Joyner is a #1 best-selling author of over a dozen books translated in almost as many languages, including The Irresistible Offer and The Second Glass. He is widely recognized as one of the early pioneers of e-commerce, responsible for inventing, pioneering, and popularizing many of the technologies we take for granted today, including remotely hosted ad tracking, electronic books, and more. One of his books, Mind Control Marketing, shot to #1 within 36 hours of its release. One of his websites became the 37th most visited website on the planet within 6 weeks of its release. His pioneering book, Search Engine Tactics, was downloaded over 1 million times years before ebooks were even common. He's turned a one-man operation into a multi-million-dollar international corporation with customers in every internet-connected country on the planet in 2 years' time. In this exclusive interview, you'll hear Mark answer questions from my HardToFindSeminars.com listeners on subjects like marketing, publishing, search engine strategies, traffic secrets, and internet marketing. Mark currently lives with his fiancée in Auckland, New Zealand, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you over an hour and a half of answers from this amazing man. Get ready, hang on tight, and let's get going. How did you fall into this whole internet marketing thing, and how long ago was it? How long have you been in this game?
I would say that my proper start was around 1994, and that was when e-commerce was just really taking off its shirt and getting ready to fight. Back then, it was what we call the Wild Wild Web days.
Where were you at that time?
It was while I was serving in Korea, while I was in military intelligence. That was in 1994. I did a bit of online marketing then, and as you know, back then, there wasn't really any online marketing theory. So what I did was I just started formulating my own theory out of what I knew about military strategy and psychology. And I remember there was a martial arts instructor of mine many, many years ago that said, you can apply anything that you learn from martial arts metaphorically to anything else in life. I thought that was just really profound, and I found that to be true, and I thought, well, here's this new internet marketing thing. Really, we weren't even calling it internet marketing back then. It was just sort of like, hey, we're on the internet, and people were farting around selling stuff. Very few people were. And there wasn't really any theory. You couldn't buy a book on how to market on the internet, how to do business on the internet back then. They simply didn't exist. So I thought, well, why don't I do that? Why don't I apply what I know about military strategy, specifically Asian military strategy and human psychology, doing business on the internet? Now, keep in mind, at the time, I didn't really know much about doing business at all. I'd always been very entrepreneurial since I was really, really young. But I didn't have any formal marketing training. I didn't have any formal business training at all. I just sort of went out there and started experimenting with stuff and figuring things out on my own. I did that for a while. In 1995, I went to officer candidate school, became a field artillery officer. By the way, most people back then didn't know I was in the Army. I kept that fact a secret. I didn't want people to know that I was kind of living a double life there.
How old are you now?
Right now I'm 37. 95, after I got out of officer candidate school and started working with the field artillery there, I started looking at a few, real marketers. So I guess that probably wasn't until about 96 or 97 when I did that. I was playing around a lot on my own and had some very good successes. You know, I had some websites out there that were extremely high traffic. I had what was the most popular personal development or self-improvement type website in existence back then. It was called Hot Rod Your Head. Looking back on it now, it was an absolutely terribly designed website, but lots of really interesting information. I just had a great time marketing it. I started to develop a reputation as an authority in building web traffic from building traffic to that website.
All right, let's talk about it. Was Hot Rod Your Head your first somewhat success, your first attempt at making money on the Internet?
That was my first real success. And frankly, the money I made from that wasn't really anything too significant compared to what I had done after that.
How did you know what to do to even get it started? What was your idea, Hot Rod Your Head? What was it?
Back then, it was just basically me wanting to talk about some ideas that were really important to me. But the topics were helping people discover what their real potential was, and not just in some superficial way like you hear about in a lot of these self-improvement products. Discover your full potential. A lot of it's just so much garbage and snake oil. I was asking, what can you really do? What are the limits of human potential physically? What can a person do? And these were the things that we were exploring. And the website was all about exploring that in a lot of different ways. And it was constantly morphing itself and changing. You know, we had a lot of really interesting people come and show up there. For example, this guy isn't a marketer in the traditional sense. He's marketed himself fairly well in the underground world. He's one of the people who's influenced my life the most. He was actually a columnist for the website. His name's Robert Anton Wilson. He wrote a series of books called the Illuminatus Trilogy, which was a huge cult following book in the 60s and 70s. This guy talks about ideas that will literally blow your mind and change the way you perceive reality. And he was talking about things like general semantics, for example, that was one of the major influencers of neurolinguistic programming long before these ideas became very popular. A lot of people don't know that NLP was greatly influenced by Ericksonian hypnotherapy and by general semantics and a few other topics. I would say maybe the vast majority of the ideas there, and not to poo-poo NLP at all, they've got some great ideas, and they've popularized a lot of great ideas, which were, of course, then popularized more by Tony Robbins than by NLP. But Robert Anton Wilson is really probably the first guy to popularize these types of topics, and a lot of the concepts that people are capitalizing on today would not have been real estate that could be capitalized on if he hadn't spearheaded that.
How did you make money with this? Were you selling an information product? Did you do any audio on the site at that time, or what was the model on that?
There was a little bit of audio on the website. The model was basically I was selling a companion book, which was a course on how to increase your intelligence called Hot Rod Your Head, and then we developed a shopping mall for sort of alternative personal development type products called Pretend Tools. Eventually, I sold both of those websites off to Learning Strategies Corporation. Those are the guys who, the photo reading course, and they're doing completely different things with the domains now. I think they're just placeholders, more or less. So really, they're completely defunct. But somewhere along the way there, I started writing about internet marketing sort of on the side. I wrote an electronic book called Search Engine Tactics, which a lot of people recognize as the first book about search engine marketing, and maybe even the first ebook. I don't know if that's true. I get credited with that a lot. Again, there may have been ebooks before that. I will take credit for popularizing the medium, though. I don't think there was any movement to popularize ebooks before that at all. And that book certainly was one of probably the driving force behind getting ebooks out there.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. You know, many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at HardToFindSeminars.com. So go right now to HardToFindSeminars.com and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching.